So, I thought I would go ahead and review a game from the castle defense genre. Unfortunately, the genre involves quite a bit of wait time for building construction and recruiting, so rather than focusing on only one, I decided to tackle three at once and figure out which of them is the best. I first discovered the genre quite a long time ago actually, with the Facebook game Backyard Monsters. I'm not sure if Backyard Monsters was the first game of this genre, but it certainly predates the others that I'm looking at, so that gives it a pretty substantial bonus. A bonus that it immediately squanders by still having not fixed the map update bug from when I played it many years ago. While looking to see if a solution had been found though, I discovered that the company that runs the game had shut down the Congregate version and offered account transfers to Facebook at a criminally low rate. Oh, no, I don't mean they offered super low prices for the transfers. I mean they compensated players who had purchased, for real money, thousands of shinies with a stock amount of a couple hundred shinies on top of also resetting their bases to level 1. So, it looks like Backyard Monsters is out of the running as far as I'm concerned. Staying on Facebook for the time being, I found, while trying to get Backyard Monsters to work, another game called Galaxy Life by Ubisoft. Now, as far as AAA publishers go, Ubisoft is the second highest as far as personal dislike goes. They haven't quite managed to offend me enough to boycott them completely like EA, but seeing their name did not give me a good starting impression. So the story goes that everyone is super peaceful, cooperative, and happy, but then one literal bad egg leads to the birth of the evil Firebit, who personally causes the near destruction of the entire civilization. In response, apparently everybody scatters across the galaxy and goes to war with each other. Yeah, I guess fighting only the AI would be boring, but that certainly doesn't make much sense story-wise. As far as gameplay goes, Galaxy Life starts off pretty close to most games of the genre. You build a base, with your starbase level determining how many of each building you can have, and much like other games of the genre, your walls seem to be deliberately limited so you can't fence off all of your important buildings at once. You can build an army to attack other bases with, but every soldier you use to attack with is lost permanently regardless of if it survives. The reasoning given in the story is that after fighting in battle, they earned the right to retire. Unlike other games though, Galaxy Life does not use its two main resources equally. Here, they use crystals and gold. Crystals are used to unlock units and for upgrading banks and apartments, while gold on the other hand is used to purchase units and upgrade every other building, as well as turrets and walls. So, unless you happen to be ready to unlock something, crystals are almost completely useless. This makes attacking pretty much a waste of resources since you actually have to spend the relatively more valuable resource to build your army. An interesting feature that I did not get to try out, though, is that you can actually build multiple bases by making colonies. Well, why didn't I try it out? Well, because upgrading your starbase does not simply require gold or crystals. It also requires power cells, which can only be acquired by spamming people on Facebook to start playing the game as well, so that you can harvest stuff on their maps. In fact, quite a few items can only be acquired by acting as a glorified ad bot for the game. Now, I do not like to recommend a game that I do not have confidence in, so I will not plug a game in my feed to tell people to play it when I've barely even started. And if a game is unplayable without doing that, well, that's too bad for the game. So, on to the third game. I went with a fairly popular title, one that is even on television commercials, Clash of Clans. Once again, the general idea is pretty much the same as the rest of the genre. You have a base that determines the level and amount of each building you can have, And once again you lose any soldiers that you use in battle regardless of if they survive. Gold and elixir are the resources in this game, and are more balanced than in Galaxy Life. Gold is used to upgrade elixir-based buildings, turrets, and walls, while elixir is used to upgrade gold-based buildings, unit-related buildings, and recruiting units. The game gives you access to much more potent defenses early on than you can muster an attacking force, so the beginning can be pretty dull. I've found that after a week of playing, I tend to just check on the base maybe once or twice a day in order to collect resources and assign new construction projects. This gives me an icky feeling, like Farmville's trickery is afoot. Essentially, the beginning is meant to be very low risk and very low maintenance in order to train you to check on the game at regular intervals more than to actually provide something for you to play. The motive seems to be to make it so that once you are actually able to play, even if you don't enjoy the gameplay as much as you might with another game, you've already put in so much work on your base that it would be a shame to let it go to waste. Alternatively, you could spend money to skip the slow part, but then be tied down by your monetary investment instead. It really is too bad that there aren't any games in this genre that remember to actually include the play in gameplay. As far as a winner goes, I guess by virtue of not actively screwing the player over, the crown goes to... What? Well, looks like there's a latecomer to this contest. While I have spent over a week on the other games, Castle Clash has, in less than a full day, provided more gameplay than Galaxy Life and Clash of Clans have in the entire week combined. Just one day of play isn't long enough to give this game a fair review though, so I'll conclude this next time. I'll see you then.